What's up, YouTube? It's currently 9 p.m. I'm out here in the mountains in a cabin, and as a lot of you guys know, I try to be the most real on this channel, and today's video is going to be something completely different. Not off topic, but just completely different in terms of where I'm going for this message. Of course, God, please bless me and make me say what I say right. My faith is in you. So guys, today we'll be talking about how God saved my life, and more so importantly, how God changed me. He's going to close the door. Okay. Doing this video, I think it's going to help a lot of people, because I'm going to explain how God saved my life in such a different way that it's not going to seem normal. It's not going to seem ordinary. I want to start this video, guys, off by going over one simple key fact, is that God is not a formula, but God is a relationship. What that means is you don't go to God just on Sundays. That means you don't go to God just to pray every night before bed and forget about him for the rest of the day. And that doesn't mean that, you pray to God and then you live the life you want to live, knowing you're sinning and falling into temptation and everything like that. Believing and having God, guys, is a completely different story than what most people think. I'm gonna be completely honest, and that's what I always try to be. I was raised in a Catholic household, and I was really never taught, guys, to build a relationship with God. And I really mean that. I know going to church, of course, was a thing that we did, and praying before bed, doing this, doing that, and there's nothing against that. I'm not hating anything against that, guys, but one thing I lacked is having faith, and one thing I lacked is having that connection with him. I was using God as a formula, but not having him as a relationship. And I do think that if I can try to advise you guys and just try to make you learn one thing from this video, it's that you have to realize that at the end of the day, God is a friend. He's there for you every single minute, every single second of that entire day. God is with you from the moment you get up to the time you're sleeping until the time you go to bed. He's with you every time. And I think so many of us, such a big downfall of, why we don't have faith or why we don't do that is because all the questions we ask ourselves. And I can tell you guys, this world is very, very scary. We live in a time where there's so much confusion, so much loss, and so much hatred in this world, that having light, having truth, and having God is something that so many people try to put a mask on. And here's what I could tell you guys about how God saved me personally. I was always the kid who struggled with insecurity. I was always the kid who struggled with doubt. I was always a kid who struggled with following his dream, finding his purpose. But around 2 years ago, I would say more consecutively a year, I've been really giving up my life to God. And what that means, guys, is I've been really focusing in on his beliefs and my personality. I can tell you guys one thing, and I really say this from the bottom of my heart, and God wants me to tell this to you, is that you were made, guys, special. You were not made with a mistake. You were not made, with something wrong with you, guys. God made you that way for a certain reason, and we have to embrace our own personalities. You have to stop trying to be or act like somebody else, because God made you a special way. There's no one in this entire universe, guys, with the same DNA strand as you. And I struggled with that one thing I just said, to be myself. It's hands down one of the hardest things I've done, because on social media, on content creation in general, being yourself, being, who you are is one of the hardest things, because we are so focused, guys, as a society now, to chase money, to chase views, to chase numbers, but we never chase, guys, fulfillment. We never chase that. Even though this video might get 20 views, I might be impacting at least one person, and that's what makes it all worth it. And God taught me this in a very hard way, because to give you guys a little bit of a background, I started a YouTube channel for around 2 years ago. It was totally based on fitness, but I totally copied someone else's content style. I was not myself on it. I worked out, and I just put music on the videos, and that's about it. I had no personality. I was not talking to the camera like I am now. I was never talking about my faith. I was never talking about my, you know, my hobbies, whatever, whatnot. And God taught me that I'm not going to grow. I'm not going to see anything. I'm not going to grow a community if I don't grow myself in terms of showing myself. And as I was saying, God showed me the hard way, because that channel never saw growth ever since I started. It was what I like to call, guys, a complete plateau, and I've been trying to solve that issue for about a year, of trying to see why my content isn't growing, what's happening, what's that, because I could tell you, I copied one person's content style. I went really, really hard on it, and I slowly leveled off and then tried to be myself. But the community and the algorithm did not like the way I acted, so they stopped watching my videos. And God told me, sometimes you're going to have to close a chapter and open a new one, because you don't know what lies ahead. And that's exactly what I did. I've had this channel for around a month now, I believe, and I have grown very, very relatively. I'm not here to just talk about numbers. I don't want to talk about numbers. However, all I want to say is that on this channel, I've been acting myself, and I'm trying to build a community. I'm trying to build people that can relate to me. You know, my hashtag on this channel is "The gym was never about fitness," and that is so true, because the gym was never about fitness. It was about using your stress, using your anxiety, using everything in that place, bro, to let it all out. It's a beautiful thing. Now, going back to the story, God, and how God saved me. When I started, I'm gonna be completely honest. I watched this one minister, and her name is Joyce Myers. You could go ahead, look her up. She's really changed me as a person in terms of how I use my faith, because beforehand, and of course, guys, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart and how this impacted me. I understand that there are different views on religion, or different views on how to believe in God, and I want to make it pretty clear, guys, that this is just my personal pathway. We all have different ones to connect, so please don't take me, for what I'm saying as rude, disrespectful, because you might believe in God in a different way. You might pray with him in a certain time, but just because I do something different does not mean I'm disrespectful in any ways. One thing I think God really taught me, guys, is because what I used to do as a child is I used to just pray, and I used to just do prayers, and there's nothing wrong with that, as I'm saying. But I really never talked to God. I really never said, God, I want to let you know that I'm currently struggling in this or in that. I never talked to God that way. I never talked to him, guys. It was a formula my whole life. Until recently, he became a relationship. And I think that's one powerful aspect, guys, in how to believe in God and how for him to change your life, is to use him as your friend. And not use him. I don't want that to go wrong, guys, by only begging God for things. We should be very grateful. But what I mean by use him is the fact that you should treat him as a friend. You should treat him as someone who you can trust, because God will never lie to you. God will never tell you that there's something wrong, or no, let me rephrase that. God will just never go behind your back. That's what I'm saying. He might tell you the truth, which might be hard to hear, but we're grateful to hear the truth, because we need to hear that. And so when I started using God, guys, as a relationship in my life, as I started talking to him, as I started, saying, God, I need help with this, I need help with that, please tell me what's wrong, or please be there and protect my days. My life has never been so, this is the word that I really think needs to be thrown out there, guys. My life has never been so at peace in my life, because I know that I'm in God's hands, and nothing will ever take that away from me. Nothing will ever, make me feel truly fearful. I used to be a very fearful kid in my life. I, just never really enjoyed doing this or that, and I feared going to, blank because of that, etc., etc. And now, guys, more recently, I'm not gonna lie to you, probably the past month, I've really been saying, and every single time I talk to God, Lord, my life is in your hands. And what I mean by that is just the fact that no matter what happens, I know you're there, walking right beside me. And I believe that whatever happens for a reason. It happens because you love me. And that's hard, because a lot of us, guys, there's a lot of unanswered questions, like why do bad things happen to good people, or why does that happen? And there's an answer to that. Sometimes it cannot be answered, and that's something we always have to tell ourselves. But all I could tell you guys is that if you have your faith, if you believe in God, and if you most importantly, have him as a friend, as a relationship. It's not a formula. Your life will change. And if this video has impacted you in any way, shape, or form, and you want to talk to God, you want to give your life before him, because we know that this world is really stressful, I want you guys to just do one thing, and there's no right way to do this, but please go into a room by yourself and just be yourself and talk to God. There's no way to talk. You could talk to him anyway. Just do it. And you will feel a sense of peace in your soul, not in your physical body, but in your eternal soul. You will feel a peace. And stop having these questions, oh, why did God do that? Or how do we know he exists, guys? Let me tell you one thing. There's nothing better in life than going to bed and waking up in the morning to know that truly deep inside you're at peace. And I always like to bring up this point because it's a very, very solid point. If God was fake and he never existed, does that mean my life was useless? Does that mean putting all this time in? No, because you know why? It made me a better person morally. I am able to forgive people easier. I'm able to show more love to people. I'm able to be myself. I'm able to be more confident. And I'm able to demonstrate new things to new people. So even if God, guys, was fake, I have lost nothing because I've impacted people. I like to say that, humbly saying this, of course. I like to be a light in the world full of darkness. I like to be a lamp, guys, in a dark room. If that's at school, if that's at work, whatever that is, just to make some people laugh or smile. Because that's what God's all about. It's showing love. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope that this video did inspire at least one person out of the many views it does get. I'll put this video in the name of Christ, that may God please bless this, and hopefully it will impact you. God bless, guys. Have a great day. And if you want more content like this, where I be more honest with my life and I talk the truth, then let me know in the comments. And let me know if God has saved you in any way, shape, or form. God bless, guys. Peace out.